Okay, here we go. So, I'm going to get straight into this Devo because I have quite literally recorded this so many times and it goes way past 5 minutes. So I'm going to really try and hit these points as best as I can. So I'm going to talk about my favorite quote, which is "Bloom where you're planted." And when I think about this quote, I get 3 different meanings from it personally, and then I back it up with scripture. That's just how my brain kind of works. So the 3 different meanings that I get from it, one, and I'm looking over here because of my notes, I'm so sorry. One is be fruitful. The second is make the best of life. And the third one is do what's right even when it's hard. So I'm going to go through how and why I get these meanings from "Bloom where you're planted," the quote. So the first one is being fruitful. And the scripture that I tie this into is Jeremiah 17:7-8. And it says, "But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." So this just reminds me that the season that you're in, be fruitful and really just hone in to what God is telling you, or even showing you in this season, and carry it on to the next, because it's kind of like what Pastor Jamie's class was talking about yesterday. It's, each season prepares you for the next. So that's what that means for me. And then the second meaning is make the best of either the situation or in life. And the scripture, I love the book of Jeremiah. I also love the book of 1 Corinthians. Like, Paul is my guy, y'all. But the scripture I get from this is Jeremiah 29:4-7. And I'm not going to read it all just because it's really lengthy. I can't believe I actually typed that out. But the context is, this is when the Israelites were exiled to Babylon, and they were in a less than wonderful situation, but God told them, in a way, to bloom where they were planted for that time, like to build houses and settle down and just make the best out of that situation, even though they were exiled. So it's like, what situation are you in a really rough season? Because for me personally, I'm in one of the toughest seasons I've ever been. And this is just kind of, I'm talking to myself in this point, but it's like, God had, and it just goes back to my first meaning. I'm so sorry, I'm like everywhere. I'm really trying to, it's 3 minutes already. But it's like, make the best out of the situation you're in and always look for the good instead of the bad, So my third meaning is do what's right. And I get, my scripture for this one is 1 Corinthians 7:20-24. And I'm not going to go into it either because it is a lot longer and I only have like 2 more minutes left. But okay, just kidding. I'm going to read it. I don't know what I was thinking not reading it. I just read it right now. I'm so sorry. Okay, so it says, each person should remain in the situation they were in when God called them. Were you a slave when you were called? Don't let it trouble you. Although if you can gain your freedom, do so. For the one who was a slave when called to faith in the Lord is the Lord's freed person. Similarly, the one who was free when called is Christ's slave. You are bought at a price. Do not become slaves of human beings. Brothers and sisters, each person as responsible to God should remain in the situation they were in when God called them. So it's not saying stay stuck. It doesn't mean you can't improve yourself or stay stuck in this awful situation / place. It's just like, it's when on verse 21, it says, if you can gain your freedom, do so. So it's like the Bible is full of words encouraging us to grow and change, and there are times to bloom where we are planted, and there are times for us to also be transplanted so we can bloom even better elsewhere, like being uprooted. And honestly, it's just doing what's right in this context. For me, it's just doing what God has called you to do. So I just want to leave you with, be fruitful in the season that you're in. Make the best of the season that you are in and do what's right for the season that you are in as well. And I just want to say that I love you all so much. And I'm so excited for second year. And I love you so much. I love all of y'all. And I know you guys are going to be such a big part of my life story. And yeah, so, okay, I'll see y'all soon.